Hi, so welcome to another little chat with me. See, life is full of lessons, little lessons, and everything, everywhere we go, every encounter, it's a lesson to be learned, or there are lessons to be learned. And that's one of the wonders for me about life, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about learning in and of itself, because learning fuels growth, basically. So everything teaches you something, or everything gives you the opportunity to learn something. I think there is a difference, because it it teaches you, but it's your responsibility to learn it. So here is another situation for me now. It's a little bit of a story time slash. It was just another experience for another morning, regular going to school morning, where I'm off with my children now. It's a new year, trying to do things differently, better. Getting tired of the whole anxiety in the mornings, so learning to plan ahead and do things and get things, just to get order and structure in the day for things to flow properly and things to go well. So fortunately, things were planned and put in order, and everything was going well, and everybody was all set to be on time, just up until the point when we are going through the door. No, everybody's all well dressed, out for school, going to the door, off to go to school early to be on time. I did my part and everything was so good and so right. But then my dear daughter decided that she now wants to achieve her own little milestone this morning and ride her new bicycle to school this morning, because all her brothers ride their bicycle to school, and she got her new bicycle, and now she wants to ride her bicycle to school herself. Anyways, initial thoughts, no, not the best idea. But she insisted she wanted to ride her bicycle to school, plus her dad told her she could ride her bicycle to school. So, yes. In this space of time that it took to get from the house to the school, there were a lot of lessons to be uncovered. Lessons for her and lessons for me. Now, let's go through this. The first lesson that I took from all of this experience after I got home, after I was coming home, and the first thing is, you can do what you want to do, but just know it's going to be hard, because congratulations to her, she achieved her goal. And that's the thing, she set her goal, she made up her mind, she achieved her goal. But it was hard. So the first lesson is, you can do what you want to do, but it's going to be hard. And secondly, it's going to cost you something. Now, this part here, so now, it cost her especially, it cost her getting to school on time. Because, as I said, I did my part to ensure that everything was going flow, time was properly managed, and everything up until there. And probably may argue and say, no, you didn't do it because you didn't control the situation, you should have. But that's another. Let's go on a little bit further. But it cost her something. It cost her going to school late. But she achieved her goal. It's going to take a decision. Now, back to me being in control of the situation. I mean, there I am, doing the whole mom routine, taking out 3 children to school at the same time. 2 attending school, 1 is not. So there I am. We left out of the house, 1 in a stroller, two on the bicycle. One completely independent on the bicycle, which is fine, but still needs verbal direction. And the other, just so with determination and drive and very little control of the bicycle. Yeah, and the other one to be pushed in a stroller. So, okay, fine. Here we are off. First things first, girl go out. Girl don't know the brakes. Oh my, imagine us going just right across the road. I mean, there's no cars coming, fortunately. Going across the road, girl, don't know if you press the brakes, don't know if you squeeze the brakes. Just drift across the road. I mean, I can't let go of the stroller. At the same time, I cannot catch her. And then there's this other one. A moment of confusion for me. Anyways, fortunately, the independent rider was there, so he helped. But then, moving on again, I'm like, we cannot do this. This is not the best idea. But, yeah. All right. We move on a little bit. Still no control over the brakes. Ran into the bushes. Okay, fine. We cannot do this. It's not the best idea, but I want to ride a bicycle. Okay, fine. I want to ride a bicycle to school. We moved on a little bit further. All right, we're leave out already. We can't turn back. Let's go. On the way, on the third bump, because yes, there was another bump. That's where the point came. I had to make a decision. Am I going to fuss about this? Am I going to leave the bicycle here and we just run and get early to school? Am I going to take away this dream or drive or whatever it is from her just to enforce my schedule time, whatever? This is one morning. This is the first morning that she wants to develop some amount of autonomy. She wants to move towards achieving a dream that's hers, which is to ride her bicycle to school. Is it going to be inconvenient? Yes. Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be what I don't want? Yes. But is it going to be of benefit to her somewhere along the line? Also, yes. So you made the hard decision. You know what? Okay, we are going to be late this morning. Ride your bicycle. All right, fine. Whilst independent rider has gone on and is there waiting on us, no fault of his own, is about to be late too. But no, his friend is on his way with his mom, so he rides off and he's early to school with his mom, with his friend's mom. Thank you. Yeah, that worked. That's how that worked. Moving on. The next lesson is that it's going to require support. So now the decision has been made. We are going to be late. All previous plans gone through the window. It is what it is until it isn't. We are now going to ride our bicycle to school for the first morning. All right. Next lesson is it's going to require support. In her head, she wants to ride her bicycle. She wants to learn. She wants to. But she can't do it all on her own. And here is mom. Her mom is here and mom is supposed to support. Whether or not mom feels like it or mom is being frustrated, it's going to require support. So we'll continue. And mom, along the way, is learning her own lessons. Control the frustration. Make this about her. It is already what it is. Just make it about her and be supportive. This is what you have to do. All right, let's move on. Next lesson, you will want to give up and you want to try other ways, but know that you're already in it and you're responsible for it. You're accountable for what's happening. You're responsible. You've already committed to it. You're already there. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, along the line, she would have wanted to hold on to the stroller. She would have wanted to probably come out. But no, you are riding to school. This is what we're doing. I'll push, I'll fix, I'll whatever, but this is what we're doing. There was a point where she even had to come off and learn to push the bicycle and stuff. It was a camera moment, but it was a learning process, and so it was, and that's how that continued. I mean, it was a lot of bumps and hicks, and had to stop ever so often. So many other persons passing and looking, and probably I don't care what other persons are doing, but it was a huge quote unquote inconvenience from the norm for. But then I was like, at this point, this is one morning, this is a first for her. Okay, let's do this, mom. You got this. Fine. So when we were like on the last stretch, which is like almost to the gate, because the other thing is, when we have to make the decision that we're gonna be late, we had to realize that, okay, we're not gonna catch that gate, so we're going to have to now go the long road. So yeah, we had to take the long road. And while we were there on the last stretch, and the road was a bit more smooth, and she was almost at the gate and she could see the gate, I could just see her just looking and just being content on her little bicycle, knowing and realizing that she almost got her dream. She almost achieved what it was that she set out to do, which is to ride her bicycle to school. At that moment, she forgot how hard it was. She forgot how uncomfortable it might have been. She forgot all of that bit and was just easy, almost smiling, riding on the way to school. And it just reminded me of that little lesson there that says, when the end is near and there's hope in sight, just enjoy the ride. I mean, probably at that moment she might have been reflecting on the drop in the bush or something, but whatever it was, she was close to her dream, her achieving her accomplishment, the school gate, riding to school. And I just allowed her to enjoy. We were very late. Well, not very late. We were late because we were, but we were later than when we were supposed to get there. But she achieved her dream, and that was, I'm hoping, a good little lesson for her. But yes, that was what happened with that. And even, I mean, at the end of it all, I had to ensure to say to her, listen, you wanted to ride to school, you ride to school this morning. But we're not riding to school again until you get this properly. Yeah? So at least she achieved her dreams. She achieved her goal, rather. She achieved her goal. But she understands, okay, something. So we sacrificed one morning of being late for this lesson. I know that it will be worth it. I mean, she may not see everything right now, but eventually she will understand and everything. Because I believe that everything that happened this morning planted seeds in her mind. Planted seeds in her mind somewhere. And some seeds were good, some seeds were not so good. And this is a part where brings me now to the lessons that I learned as a parent from this experience this morning, is that the first and foremost is that things happen, inconveniences happen, things happen that are outside of your control. And it shoves me into the very next lesson, is that my responses to the things that happen are going to affect their experiences. It's going to affect their thoughts. It's going to affect their feelings. It's going to affect their actions, their overall mentality. Looking back at it, I can remember instances where I looked at her face through my frustration, and I saw her little face feel looking. I saw her looking cowardly, or looking scared, looking unsure, looking confused, because she's not sure of because she's feeding off of my responses. I was frustrated, obviously frustrated, shouting. I mean, shouting in some instances where I probably wasn't supposed to, or saying something that I wasn't supposed to. This was all before the point where I made the decision, okay, we are going to be. After I made that decision that, I'm going to make this more about you and having this experience this morning, that's where I was in that moment, refocus and reframe and said, all right, this is you. You want to ride? Let's do this. Do it. Yeah. So I had to surrender in that moment, that the control of getting to school before the gate closes or whatever it was. And yeah, the next part of the lesson immediately following that is, I have to learn to control my words, because I remembered repeatedly saying, this is not the best idea, this is not the best idea, da, da, da. And then, of course, I do believe it was the Holy Spirit now, tug my heart to say, what are you saying? Stop saying that she's listening, and I had to just stop saying that. For the entire rest of the journey, just stop saying that. And then I realized that going on, there was an absence of words when she needed my support, words of affirmation. They say, she needed that because it was still going on. And the silence wasn't any much better than the yelling. And so I realized that, no, okay, I have to come up with the supportive words because she's listening and it's going to impact her experience. And looking at it now, I mean, I know that I am going to have to go in to do some amount of damage control, because there may have been things that I said in ways that I should not have said it. So I'm going to have to go in and apologize and hopefully fix something. But the lesson there is control your words, even in the situation. This is a general thing. Control your words generally, and even more so in specific situations where tempers are flaring, where you're out of control. Just control your words. It shapes your children. And control yourself in the moment. I mean, through everything that was happening, I just had to remember control myself. I remember there were a number of times I, just stopped, took a deep breath, sigh, probably, just because I was just conscious. I became conscious. I wasn't initially conscious. I became conscious just after looking at her emotions on her face, her facial expressions, her body language, just looking at how I was impacting her in her experience. I had to stop and put a pause on myself and control myself in the moment and just allow her to have her moment. And that was the part that brought me to even the other lesson that says, accept the outcome, accept that the outcome might not have been my design or my desire, but the experience of it is relevant to them. The outcome was not what I wanted it to be. What I wanted, or how I designed it to be this month, was for us to manage the time well enough to be on. But the thing is, I did not know prior that she had it in mind to ride a bicycle this morning. I probably would have planned more time for that, but then I didn't know, But compromise, we have to do that as parents too. Compromise sometimes. So in that moment, again, why did I allow her to have this moment this morning? I do not know, but maybe God knew that she needed this morning, and I needed these lessons this morning. So fine. It is what it is. Again, the outcome might not have been my design or my desire, but the experience is relevant for her, and for them in future reference. The next point is that their reality is real, and what happens in the moment shapes their entire future outlook. So I had to remind myself of that in the moment, all of her fears, how I responded to her fears, all of her, because at one point, to be honest, I thought I was confusing my poor child. I thought I was confusing her when I was like, leave the bicycle, da, da, da. And then, yeah. So I was confusing her. But thank God for the grace that He gives to children, that they are so forgiving. Thank you. Yeah. But she got back up, and in all of it, I guess I can genuinely say that I am proud of her decision that she made to try something new, stick to it. As hard as it was, as confusing and whatever it was, she stuck to it and she did it. And looking back, I know that outside of the heat of the moment and everything, she will remember that for a long time. But whatever happened in the moment, or the moments of her riding her bicycle to school with her mother being her mother, it's going to stay with her, and she's going to remember, and some things she's going to be upset about, some things she's going to laugh about, some things she will have to work through. But it was her moment. And the final lesson that I think I would have taken from this as a parent is that I need to allow my children to have their moments, even with the inconveniences and the setbacks. It's all for a reason. So going forward, I'm going to remind myself. Better yet, I'm going to ask the Lord to remind me of this, that through it all, I need to allow them to have their moments, be there, be present in the moment with them to provide the support and advice that I need to provide and the direction that I need to provide in the moment, and acknowledge that it is their moment, allow them to have it. And what I didn't do was document the moment, because to be fair, I did not see myself taking pictures in the moment. But where I can, I will. But yeah, I can assure you, this was not her first time riding the bicycle, because she rode a bicycle out with her dad going to church, and that was a much better, pleasurable experience for her. And I'm sure she'll remember that for what that was. But this one, yeah, parents are different. Parenting, the genders are different. But that's another story for another day. But those are my little lessons that I learned about, in the moment, in the moment that you create, the moment that you have to. Yeah, those are the lessons. But thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. Comment and let me know what you think. Bye.